So students, we are having a beaker. As I was explaining earlier, we are having a container which is having solution in it, and 1 ml of this solution is having some conductance which is called as K. And if you keep on adding water, what will happen? The volume of the solution will increase. When the volume of the solution increases, number of ions goes on increasing. Okay, but per ml the number of ions are less. I would like to explain you by this. Now, suppose we are having 1 ml which is not diluted yet. So in 1 ml you can see there are many dots, many blue dots are there, means many ions are there. But when you add water, you have diluted the solution, and from the diluted solution, when you take 1 ml out, you can see that number of blue dots are less, which means that number of ions are less. Diluted solution, in the diluted solution, number of ions per ml decreases. Now if the number of ions decreases, definitely K value will also decrease, because conductivity means conductance of 1 ml solution, and if in 1 ml the number of ions are less, definitely K also will reduce. So what do we conclude? We conclude that on diluting the solution, on dilution, the conductivity value decreases. But what happens to the molar conductivity? Here we have molar conductivity. So when you are having 1 molar solution and you add water to it and you dilute it, you get more number of ions in the entire solution. So because there is ionization is happening when you add water, so throughout in the entire container number of ions are increasing, hence the molar conductivity will increase. So molar conductivity increases on dilution and conductivity decreases on dilution. So I hope you are understanding that when you dilute a solution, the volume of the solution increases, and hence the number of ions as whole it increases, which increases the molar conductivity. But that diluted solution, from that diluted solution, if you take 1 ml out, the number of ions are going to be less, which will contribute to the conductivity, which is going to be less than the previous case. Okay, so in nutshell, I would like to say that on dilution, conductivity decreases and molar conductivity increases. Now here we have a graph wherein you can see that on the y-axis I have plotted lambda, that is molar conductivity, and on the x-axis I have plotted square root of delta C. Now you take example of strong electrolyte. Okay, wherever I am highlighting or wherever I am pointing out, please look at that point. Strong electrolyte, when you add water to it, more ions will be there and the molar conductivity will shoot up very quickly, and hence it can be seen by this particular line which is touching the y-axis when concentration becomes 0. Okay, now this is the case of strong electrolyte, but when we talk for the weak electrolyte, as you can see with the red marker I have highlighted, weak electrolyte. For the weak electrolyte, first of all, the curve is going to be below the strong electrolyte, because the molar conductivity of the weak electrolyte would be always less than the strong electrolyte. Why is it so? Because weak electrolyte dissociates partially, number of ions are less. Now, so we take weak electrolyte and you are adding water to the weak electrolyte, ions will be formed, but because it is weak in nature, it will not dissociate completely. Hence you can see that the marker, the red marker here, the curve is moving up, but after moving up it is not touching the y-axis, it is just parallel to the y-axis, which means that it is the maximum molar conductivity at infinite dilution of the weak electrolyte. Okay, so if you check over here, I have written y is equal to mx plus c. Now y over here we are having y is lambda and x is delta c, and the intercept we are having lambda naught, and we are having slope, it is moving down, so it is a negative slope, that is minus a. So here I have written y is equal to mx plus c, and we are having lambda is equal to lambda is equal to minus a square root c plus lambda naught. Now this is a graphical representation to explain the variation of molar conductivity with the concentration. Now let us move on to the conductivity cell. As you can see, this is written conductivity cell. It is used to calculate the conductivity of the cell. Now what is cell constant we will study, but first of all, what is this conductivity cell? Here I have the diagram of conductivity cell. You can see that the background which I have drawn black is a beaker. Okay, it's a container containing a solution whose conductivity we want to find out. In this beaker, we have put one glass tube which is inverted. It is hollow from both the ends. Okay, glass tube which is hollow from both the ends, and inside the glass tube we have arranged two electrodes, and it is two platinum electrode. Now you can see I have drawn one box actually because the distance between two platinum plate is 1 centimeter. So in this way, if you take length, breadth and height, you will get one cube in this particular area, and 1 centimeter cube volume you will get. So it means whatever is the conductance of this 1 centimeter cube solution, that is known as conductivity of the solution. Okay, so conductivity cell is used to calculate K, but we have some mathematical expression to calculate K. So this was the conductivity cell using which you can find out K, but how are we able to find out K? That I am explaining you now. You all know that G is equal to 1 upon R. Okay, now I move further. G is equal to 1 upon rho A by L. You all know this also because in our last video I have shared with you. Then we have G is equal to kappa A upon L. So this term becomes kappa, and here I write K is equal to G and L upon A. Now what is the unit of K over here? That we have derived. G is ohm inverse, length is centimeter, area is centimeter square. So you get ohm inverse, centimeter inverse, or you get Simon meter inverse or Simon centimeter inverse. Now this is the unit of kappa we have derived. Okay, then we derive the unit of G also. G is equal to K L upon A. From here I have written down. Now what is the unit of K? I have written Simon meter inverse, meter square, meter, cut, cancel, cancel. So we are left with the unit of conductance. Electric conductance is ohm inverse. Okay, yes, we move on to the next part, that is how to calculate K. So students, we have derived the unit for K, we have derived the unit for G, we'll derive the unit for lambda M now. Okay, what is K? K is conductivity, G is electrical conductance, this is molar conductivity. So lambda M is equal to 1000 K upon C. Then unit of lambda M is equal to, we are having unit of lambda M. See K, I have written Simon per centimeter. Here's concentration. Concentration is mole per decimeter cube, but since it is in centimeter here, we will also write a centimeter minus 3, and we get the unit of this as Simon centimeter square mole inverse, and Simon can be written as ohm inverse. Mole inverse I have written centimeter square. So make a note of it that the unit of lambda M is ohm inverse per mole centimeter square, and this is very important from board point of view. Now, yes, I remember that we were discussing how to calculate conductivity using conductivity cell. Okay, so I have written here G is equal to 1 upon R. It is not new for you what I have written. G is equal to 1 upon R and 1 upon rho A upon L. G is equal to K A upon L. Now I write G as 1 upon R, K as K, A as A, L, and I shift L and A other side. So I get K is equal to 1 upon R, L upon A. Now student, what is this L? L is the length of the platinum plate. Okay, and what is this A? A is the area of that platinum plate, which was meter square. See, if it is centimeter, it is centimeter square. If it is meter, it is meter square. So I write here B. Now what is this B? Just make a note. L upon A is B. Okay, so B is called as cell constant. What is this B called? Cell constant. It is B is equal to L upon A, which we will get from the conductivity cell. Okay, and so K is equal to B upon R. In the coming sessions, we are going to solve the numericals based on this concept. You need not forget that K is equal to B upon R, wherein B is cell constant and R is the resistance of the solution. Now, how you will calculate the resistance of the solution? You will calculate the resistance using Wheatstone bridge. I have shared one video with you people. You have to find out on that video that how you will get the value of R. We are done with the day.